What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be talking about biometric safes. Should you get one? Should you use them? And so on. And I've made a bunch of videos in the past talking about biometric safes and how I do use them. You know, I have children and stuff like that. But to be honest, this has definitely concerned me. Now, I have multiple biometric safes. This is not my main one. I have a couple from the Life Pod, I believe it's called. Colin Noir sells them on his website, and I've got one from there. And I also have another brand other than this one. But I do keep a pistol in this at home, locked away and safe just for backup. But this has definitely scared me. But before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on this video. Tell me your thoughts on biometric safes. Let's get into it. So, you know, I was traveling recently, so I brought the safe with me. And I kept, you know, one of my nightstand pistols in there. I actually kept my PSA dagger with an O-light in there, a couple backup Glock mags, and that's what I do. And even though this isn't my bedside safe, I have a different one. I still bring this with me because I like its size. I like the handle it has on it. And I thought it was basically bulletproof when it comes to access, right? Because you have the biometric part, that's going to be your fingerprint. You also have the code. You also get a little tag to scan yourself in. And if all else fails, you can use that key, right? And mechanically open it. Wrong. So I got out here, and I was getting my dagger out to go to the range. And what happened? Red. I thought maybe it's out of batteries, right? So it's nice. They give you a charging cord. You put it in right there. I charged it for a couple hours, right? Still nothing. Then I put in my code. Nothing. Literally nothing. Then I took the key card, scanned it, nothing. Literally just red. Then the worst part about all, I'm like, this is really scary. I grab my key, I put it in, I turn it, nothing happens. I literally had to break into this thing with a screwdriver, and oh my goodness, was it easy. That's the other part I want to talk about. So not only did this thing fail me, imagine if you had a home intruder, right? Someone breaks into your house, you have kids that are sleeping, he's in there, you know, just to cause violence and chaos and so on. And you go to get your firearm and nothing happens. What are you going to do? Literally, I had to grab a flathead screwdriver and just pry it open, and it came right open. But who has a screwdriver just laying around near their bed? I mean, I actually do in my closet in my firearm toolbox, but most people will not have that. And so it made me second guess having a biometric safe like this. Because what it seems like is something is malfunctioning on the inside. Therefore, it's not allowing the locks to unlatch. And so I had to pry it open, and now the safe is done for good. I can never use this safe again, nor do I want to. This is literally just a video to let you guys know that this is a point of failure. Anything electronic is a point of failure, right? You have optics on firearms, right, some are battery powered or solar powered, whatever the case may be. And then you also have iron sights. Your iron sights will never fail you, of course, unless they come off. But as long as you Loctite them down, chances are your iron sights are never coming off. Your optics, though, can die. So people who rely on optics, that can be an issue. Just like this safe right here. Imagine that's the moment when someone breaks in your house, you're scared, you're trying to defend your family, and everything fails you. Literally everything. That would be a disaster. So I have a couple methods on how I hide my firearm, how I use it, how I keep it safe, because I do have 3 young kids, but I also have a lock on my bedroom door. I also keep my firearm in a secure location away from my kids to where they can never get their hands on it. So just a thought, if you're going to get a biometric safe, get a higher end one, get a more expensive one. Do not go cheap. Do not buy a $60 one, an $80 one, a $100 one on Amazon. It will fail at some point. Next thing. And if you guys are wondering, the safe was actually sent to me. This is not something I bought. They sent it to me, and it was so far so good, and now it's starting to fail me. The other thing, right? So I was freaking out. I'm like, I have 2 firearms in here, all my mags. I wanted to go train with my PSA dagger. I also wanted to train with my Glock 42 in there. I normally keep, you know, one pistol, you know, that's a nightstand gun, a backup in case my main firearm gets out of the fight, and it's loaded up and ready to go. But I also keep a pocket pistol in there. And the reason is, when I'm just going to the mailbox or just going on a walk with my kids or going to the park, what I'll do is I'll unlock it and grab my pocket pistol for that exact moment. Then when I get home, put the pocket pistol back, and it's locked, secure, and safe. The good thing is my kids are under 5, so there's no way they could ever get into this by themselves. But when your children get older, and just if you think about anybody, The ease that I pried this open was ridiculous. I literally took just not even a heavy duty flathead, just put it right here, pulled back, and the thing popped wide open. That scares me. Do not go cheap when it comes to your kid's safety. Do not go cheap when it comes to your whole family's safety. And this, in my opinion, is a safety flaw. If I can break that open with very little leverage, very little strength to open it, that's scary. That means your teenage kids can get into it and so on. So if you're going to get a good safe, make sure it is a good safe. Make sure it's very hard to get in. Maybe I'll go over the life pod and maybe I'll get one just for review and testing purposes, and I'll try and see if I can break into it. But so far, my life pod has been absolutely solid. That's what I actually use when I'm flying and traveling with my firearms. I use the life pod. But something like this, I just use as, like I said, a backup safe, in case my main firearm's out or I need new mags, whatever the case may be, to back up my home defense. And like I said, I also use it for pocket pistol storage, just so I can have that tiny firearm for deep concealment. But like I said, I will never use a safe like this again. I will always go high end. They make awesome nightstands that have built-in safes that do not fail. I think Fort Knox makes an awesome a bedside table safe, which is actually really nice. I plan on getting that when we move. But for the time being, make sure your firearms are safe. Make sure they're locked up so your kids can't get to them. And by locked up, I just mean a secure location where they can't access it. Make sure you are locking your door, whatever the case may be. But something like this, I will never trust, especially as my kids get older. This honestly is going directly in the trash. Like I said though, if you're using it as a backup and you stash it high and you have young kids, that'll be just fine. But the second your kids are older, their friends could break into this, they could break into it. You do not want something janky like this. So that's just a PSA, just a warning. Do not use biometric safes. It's just another point of failure. And what scares me out of all this is you think that one mechanical piece would function with everything else not working. Like I said, it's fully charged. It was running fine before, I went on my trip. By the time you're watching this, I'm already back from my trip. But that key doesn't even work. And that is the scariest part about it. I get if the electronic controls get out, but why doesn't that key work? So it is what it is. Just be careful if you're using biometric safes. Thanks for watching.